Kagurabachi. And with that, I'm going to pass this one over to Josh.
Thanks, Chris. This is Kagurabachi, chapter number 74. The title is Dawn.
Dawn.
So last week we continued the flashback of what led Samura to making the decisions he made, that being a murderous traitor, aligned with the Hishaku to take out the enchanted swordsman. And we got to see the backlash of the information about the genocide that happened to the invading islanders, and how that affected Iori, like in class, which in turn, when Samura found out what she was going through, drove him to make Iori move away and have him, really just contemplate what to do next. And then at the very end of the chapter, he got the news that Rokuhira, the creator of the swords, has been murdered and the sword stolen, like how we learned in the beginning of the series. So with that, we lead into this week's chapter. So he just hung up the phone after hearing the bad news, and Samura went over to Rokuhira's, I guess like right after that happened, and was confronted by Yura, that's his name, this snake sassy dude, evil sorcerer man. So Samura just starts like, asking him a bunch of like really just grilling him, because he's like, yo, like you're causing shit to happen, bro. Like you was behind like the murder of Rokuhira, and like your organization is stirring up problems that wasn't existing before you guys came to the picture. And Yura just keeps pressing the idea essentially that like the sword, because the sword bearer that committed the genocide is still alive, and that leading to the sword still being around and being available to use eventually at some point, that's why the sword bearers had to die. The same rhetoric we already heard, but he's just kind of explaining the lengths, like this he's basically pressing the issue because he doesn't want to wait for the malediction to happen. He wants to take control of the sword himself, as a matter of fact, and that's what will ensure the malediction from that happening. Yeah, I'm sure we all have thoughts. It's gonna be a fun post chat. Yeah. So he's guilt tripping Samura, essentially. I could go over the lines that they're delivering to each other, but that's the gist of it. Interestingly, he also happens Yura also happens to know that killing like the main swordsman, what's his name? Killing the owner of the Shinichi will also like kill the rest of the swordsmen. So he's obviously have some type of like inside information from the Kuminabi, right? Yeah, that's their organization.
Yeah.
But that's just me speculating. Crazy thing is, after his whole like make Samura feel responsible for the perfectly sane decision of locking this guy up and not forcing the other people to die, he looks around and he's like, your daughter's no longer with you? That's too bad. I was gonna use her as a pawn.
Damn, I was going to take her hostage to make you do things for us.
So he says, being with me was only hurting her. The look in his eyes, like as he stares at Samura. If only Samura could actually like see him, he wouldn't even be holding a conversation with him any longer. He would have killed him on the spot.
Yeah.
He's like, don't fucking look at me like that. Anyway,
How fucking dare you?
he says, "I was hoping to have another pawn." Oh, he literally does say that. Actually, I was hoping to have another pawn to help us kill the sword master. For the sake of the future, I'll give you a chance to atone for your sins. Which is him basically recruiting him, like, Seiichi Samura, let's team up and end this menace together. We have to eradicate the issue from the root and get rid of the Shinichi. Anyway, we skipped forward to about 3 years after Samura left Iori with her aunt. Word got around about Rokuhira's death, and that's when the Kuminami started monitoring her. So she was a little bit. No, I'm not gonna say grown, but she wasn't like a young child. I guess the point I'm trying to make is she got her memory changed recently, because after the Kuminabi start like following her around, that's when they introduced the idea about the seal and having her forget the memories. So I thought that was actually kind of interesting. But anyway, it's so sad because right before they're about to do the seal, there's like a little note for Iori from Samura, and it says, "I'm sorry I caused you nothing but pain," from Dad, as she's like crying on the paper. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's rough. As we fucking with an insane amount of whiplash, mind you, in my opinion,
for real.
But abruptly, I was wondering if I was the only one that felt that way.
No Vaseline. We're in the present.
Yeah, right. We go abruptly into the current time of Chihiro finishing off Hirohiko with his new technique, and then him immediately glancing over at Iori as Mini Masumi notices that she's completely destroyed the seal on her memory. In the few moments he took to look at Iori, he then turns around and sees that Iori's being whisked away by one of his fellow Hashaku members, literally being whisked away via like a flame. And then like in one of my favorite panels of the week, actually, there's a small little panel of him, it says glance, and he's like, oh, in my mind he's like, oh, running little bitch. Like that.
I see you. I see you ducking me.
Yeah, you think you're low? All right, keep that.
All right, pussy. See you later.
Yeah, so yeah, his teammate tries to get Hirohiko away. I actually forget her name.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either.
And Hirohiko's like,
Gaku or some shit like that.
Haku?
Gaku, I think her name is
Something
Gaku.
like that.
I think you're confusing her with Gunko, but it's all right.
I don't know her name, so I'll say Gaku.
Okay, Gaku. Oh, okay. Anyway, so he's explaining to her like, oh, like I'm straight. He didn't like, these aren't lethal blows. I was able to block it with the sword. But
Oh, it's Toto.
yeah,
Toto.
thank you for pulling that up, Brian. So he's like, oh, grab the enchanted blade, because I'm real salty that I just took this out. That's not what he said.
I
but
can't
that's
go out like
essentially
this.
Yeah.
I have to get my get back.
So, right, I guess like right when he says that, Toto's like, oh, like we have it, but, and then one of the other Kumanami members was like, yo, like I'm gonna like track them down, go help Iori, because she's getting like ran up on by mad fucking swordsmen, and she's also trying to protect her classmate Ikura, And she says, "Thank you for coming." And he says, "Sure." As Chihiro pulls up and they get an awesome 1-page spread of them looking fucking cool as hell in their samurai poses, and they killed everybody around them. Probably, I'm sure they did. And Chihiro's like, "Oh, did your dad teach you like sword fighting?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I never actually like fought for real, and that's why I closed my eyes." Which Chihiro reacts probably the way any of us would have, but I guess they're like we established before, she's less anxious when she doesn't have to worry about seeing like the people she's hurting or hitting or whatever, or actually like the people trying to hit her. And I guess her dad fights blind, so it can be done, and she does it too. So it is what it is. I think that's dope. Then she looks up at the sky, and she's like, "Is that my dad?" Chihiro looks back and says, "Yes." It sure is. Is he watching us? Yes.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
He's like, "If the seal's broken, Mr. Samura must be remembering you too. But he can't come and find you now. Mr. Samura is on a mission to slaughter the rest of the contracted sword bearers." As she looks up at the hypnotic eye in the sky, very scary. And she's like, "Oh, I get, no matter how much I struggle with my feelings, could never reach him." And then that's when he starts. Okay, let me not skip ahead. So then we cut to Toto and Hirohiko talking, and she's trying to explain to him like, "Yo, like if you draw the enchanted blade, Samura's gonna know. He's gonna come and punish you, bro." And even with the proper technique, you're covered in wounds, like you're fucked up, like you're in no position to defend yourself, like especially if that nigga pulls up. And he's Hirohiko seems to believe that either way, like Chihiro's gonna draw his sword. And besides, I'm not just letting this end this way. So clearly, majority of the motivation is salt. But
yes,
he does seem to think Chihiro's going to draw his sword, which was very interesting. So Chihiro looks at Iori, and he's like, "It wasn't meaningless. You can reach him now." As Chihiro is basically about to get super reckless, and she said, Iori tells him, "Even if it's just for a moment, I want to see my father." And Chihiro pulls the fucking Enten sword, and Hirohiko does. He called it. He fucking knew. He had no logical reason to believe that's what was gonna happen. He has a bomb. Anyway, they both pull their sword, and guys, one of the coolest fucking pages I've seen in a really long time.
Oh, bro.
And that's as soon as they draw their enchanted blades, the eye in the sky disperses into calm clouds as black crow feathers drop down to the surface and gently brush up against everybody looking up. The next page, we see Samura call his sword Tobamune as he draws it, and we get a beautiful 2-page spread of Samura descending from the sky with black angel wings in the form of crow wings, essentially. As we see Chihiro drawing his Enten blade with his new EA Purity style stance, and Iori looking above too. And that is the end of this chapter. I'm going to skip everybody. This is my RGC.
I think it's mine as well.
RGC.
Yeah, this is a unified, really good chapter of the week.
Oh my God.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Bing bong boom.
Sheesh. So,
Brian, let's start with you. What were your thoughts?
What can I say that hasn't been said for the past 15 weeks about this fucking series? What can I say? Like
You can say
legit.
details
Like,
about the chapter.
like I just can't. I just can't. Like it's the same fucking greatness every fucking week. Every fucking week. Every week. Guys, read this fucking series. It is fucking masterwork after masterwork every fucking week, and I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not. I wish I was. This series is this fucking good. Read it, please. God, the anime when it comes out for this series will not be able to do. All right. I won't go this far yet, but God, this is such an incredible use of manga storytelling through and through every fucking week. This guy knows how to tell a fucking story, whether it be through flashbacks, whether it be through buildup, whether it be action moments. All of the art is just so fucking incredible. And the writing for every character feels so in-depth and realistic, and like it just reels you in. And he just knows how to fucking get your fucking blood boiling, you know what I mean? Get your blood pumping. Because goddamn, having three whole ass enchanted blades activated in this one moment for the god of the enchanted blades, like it makes this guy look like he's literally Sword Jesus, the way that he's flying in the end. God, I just love this series so much. There's not enough words that I can say that can do this series the justice that it deserves. You know what I mean? Like, God, I'm gonna be talking about it like this next week too. Don't you fucking worry. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we've seen aura farming. This is the Aura Harvest Festival. This this shit was so damn cool. It's so good. Having Kumeyori and M10 both being drawn simultaneously. Hirohiko knowing in advance, it's like, yeah, he's gonna fucking pull the sword. I can't stay down.
Feel it in there.
Ooh, I know this motherfucker. I know he's gonna fucking draw this sword.
That's my best friend.
That's my best of friendo. So I am not letting him go. I am not letting him upstage me. Both of them unlocking it, and then of course the old head pulling up, the OG coming in and to say, "Let me show you guys how it's really done." Y'all remember Sephiroth?
Sephiroth.
Yeah. One Winged Angel was playing in Samura's head as he was pulling this blade. From the first person perspective, drawing it from Chihiro's perspective, looking up at Samura with his sword drawn. I mean, man, this guy is so good. You know what it reminds me of? For his time and when Naruto was coming out, Kishimoto was kind of like really doing some cool shit with manga in terms of perspective, in terms of like different lenses. You know, like he would like draw in a fisheye lens every now and then. I feel like he was like not inventing new techniques, but kind of like, you know, just what's it called? Not revolutionizing, but for lack of a better word, I'll use that, like the concept of just artistic technique in manga for his time. I mean, you know, and now we see Hokuzono, I think this guy's name is, picking up the torch, and we've seen it before. He's just very creative in the way that he composes panels and illustrations basically as manga art. It's so good. This, as far as the story goes, I don't use this very often, but you know, this is like one of them. This is a perfect chapter. You know, it has like a good act structure in a sense. It's like building action up to the point where we get a full release in something of a climax of a chapter. It's almost self-contained in a rising and falling action. We get the rising action of just knowing the stakes and how much this means to Iori. Just like suddenly in the act 2 of just the lead up to, having Chihiro make the decision to unlock the blade just for Iori's sake, so that she could see her dad one more time.
Yeah, he basically said, "Come pick up your fucking kid."
Get over here, deadbeat. Your daughter is waiting for you. So yeah, I'm just very excited to see what comes. There's so many like plot lines that are about to converge. We get to see what's going to happen as far as Samura meeting his daughter again after so long. We're going to see what the Kumayori can actually do. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what can be said?
This is gonna be crazy.
I don't want to glaze Kagurabachi too much, but man, it is at its peak when it's really cooking. It's cooking, man. And we've given it RGC after RGC, and man, it is gonna be amazing going forward. I can't imagine anything less. But that's all I gotta say. It's so good. Josh, what did you think?
First of all, I didn't even think about the fact that we're gonna be able to see the new sword, the Kumayuri.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that, man. But I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. This won the RGC for me decidedly off of the final page.
Yeah.
It was just so fucking epic, man. I'm gonna say this. I'll be a little critical and go out on a limb and say that them two drawing their swords now was a little bit of a force. I think maybe we could have got another chapter to kind of build up to them having like a more logical reason for like Hirohiko knowing that he was gonna draw the blade. I also thought it was really sudden for Chihiro to do it too. I know she wants to see her dad, but he didn't have that flashback with her. It felt like he did. Like he looked at her and felt the whole flashback.
I think he knew prior that she didn't know Samura, and that he knew that he put the seal on her basically so that she would forget him. So he knows like the backstory. He doesn't know like the ultra specifics, but he does know like the more important parts of it. I think it makes sense for him to do this in a sense. I think he knows enough to know what this means to her.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not too upset. That he did it at, it's more that I think it was a little quick.
Mm.
But I'm not upset that they're pushing things forward. We just got a whole flashback. It was really deep. But I got a couple things to say. So I'm trying to be patient, but I really, really don't care for Yura in his reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I've been pretty vocal about it already, and I don't think either of y'all disagree. So I don't want to make it about belaboring the point that he's doing the fucking most and that things were absolutely fine. Mm-hmm. And I'll even go the extra like myself to say, in my opinion, that like it's worth the risk. You know what I'm saying? That something like that would happen again, just because like I feel like life is precious. We don't want anybody else to die, and saving 5 people's lives is worth the maybe of and just to be clear, we know that maybe is a very, very, very small chance under circumstances that people aren't trying to actively obtain it and, do whatever they want. I guess there's a commentary about that could be said that it's not the Hishaku, it probably would be other people that tried to, do the same thing or whatever. But at the end of the day, I stand by the fact that those 5 people's lives mattered and it was worth trying that. So with all of that said, yeah, I don't want to just believe that Yura is about pure bullshit or that he's just simply a member from that island, or maybe he knew somebody from the island and this is like a tale, like, a issue of vengeance. I want to hope that it's a little bit more complicated than that. I just don't know what else can really, what other layers there are to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like Yura's motivations or the Hishaku's motivations, to me, clearly they feel some type of way, and they don't have to be members of the island. They could just feel like, nah, like that was just completely bugged the fuck out, and that guy needs to go. And sorry, you guys need to be killed too. But it's not simply that, because we got the detail this week that he wants to obtain the Shinichi for himself. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Is this too deep or complex? Like,
I don't disagree with
to
you.
Just admit, like,
I don't disagree with you. I just think I'm personally withholding judgment until I see, because I do agree Yura himself is like kind of the least interesting part of Kagurabachi so far. But that's only because we don't know much about him, and there could be a whole lot more. I'm just
or whoever his boss is.
Yeah, maybe he does have like a secret boss over him that is really trying to obtain it. But I mean, I'm okay in a sense right now that Yura's the least interesting part, because he is not like kind of the antagonistic focus at the moment. It'd be a different story if they were directly fighting Yura right now. So I'm willing to wait and see where he's at in a couple in like further down the series. I can't imagine that he won't have some depth to him. I feel like Hokuzono is like built enough trust with me that I'm like willing to see, and I'm just opting for the possibility that he's keeping things close to the chest, because as far as Shonen Jump series go, it's still pretty early on, 74 chapters in. So, but I understand your sentiment.
For something. Yeah, so I need to also make a I need to make a stand here.
Ooh.
Samura's going to die by the end
of
this little arc. And I'm willing to put.
Oh, we're getting back on it. We're back.
I'm running it back.
So for those of you who are new listeners,
I'm willing to.
For those of you who are new listeners, a long time ago, maybe, I don't know, 10 weeks ago, we had, it was our very first in history wrong Burgundy bet, where the loser would have to be referred to as wrong Burgundy for the entirety of the confirming show, where it's confirmed whether we were right or wrong. Josh and Brian both bet me that Samura was going to die in the arc where he was introduced. They lost. And now Josh wants to resurrect that bet, that same stakes, for this right here. Do you think Samura is going to die in this arc? That is a good question.
If you're not ready to give an answer, I can give the audience a little bit more context while you think. Okay? So, for me personally, right, the first wrong Burgundy bet, for me, it was all about pride, and that me staking that pride on the fact that I know my tropes. That's what that was about. It was important to me that it was against Chris, especially because I'll be honest, you definitely put me on to like reading manga. But I'm a big boy now, man. I've been reading shit for a long time now.
The student has become the master.
So I felt like I seen something there. I really thought so. And I feel similar now. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not giving my reasonings. I'm not gonna really try to appeal to you unless you want me to. Unless you want me to give more reasoning to why I think it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna present. I'm gonna put it down right now. But if you want an explanation, I'll give it.
Okay, so I am a little hesitant to make a bet this time around because I do see a possibility in which Samura definitely died in this arc. I'm still of the belief that
It's two factors for me.
do I want to do it? Do I want to roll the dice, baby? Am I a degenerate?
All right, you know what? I'll be fair and balanced, okay? It's two reasons. Number one is the fact that there was a whole flashback and an emotional appeal to him. We understand him as a character on a whole nother level. And I'm going to keep it a stack. What more is there for him to do at this point? I mean, he could go try to kill the other swordsman, but he's here now. And guess what? There's someone there to pick up his sword. That's his daughter. So there's the emotional element to it, and also it makes sense plot wise to me. I think that's very organic.
Okay. I'm going to roll the dice. I don't think he's going to die this arc.
Oh,
Wrong Burgundy bet.
Okay.
If
I'm wrong again with this, that's gonna be tough.
Here is why I think he won't die, and I will note I am.
Are you trying to appeal to me? Are you trying to like?
This is my reasoning. I don't want to just give it that I'm just throwing it out there with no logic whatsoever. That I'm just doing this.
Okay.
Okay, so my logic is I'm going based purely off of distribution of enchanted swords. It's going to be a hard sell for even me. But my idea is that I don't think that he's going to die quite yet. Because if he dies, and theoretically, Iori gets Tobimune, that's 2 enchanted blades. And also 2 enchanted blades for the Hishaku, because they do have Komayuri, assuming Hirohiko survives this arc, which I can imagine that he won't. And then there's another guy with one of the enchanted swords. They just have to kill the other one. So if they happen to save the other swordsman and retain the sword that belongs to that other swordsman, then that means they would have 3 enchanted swords on their side.
The Hishaku have the swords.
Oh, they have all swords. You're right.
Right? They do. They have the swords. I'm pretty sure they have. They stole them, right? They lost.
Yeah, they do have all the swords. They just have to kill the
They lost the lightning
master.
one.
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, they lost the lightning one.
Cloud Gouger.
And how did the Shinuchi get in the hands of
Shinuchi? They defeated
I guess,
the
Hishaku
one.
gave it to them, right?
No, they defeated the dad.
How did they get the Shinuchi to even put it up for the?
I forget
right,
how.
and I think the Hishaku gave it to them and
Yeah.
offered it to them.
Yeah.
I think it was it was like part of their plan or something like. I'm pretty
Something like that.
Yeah, because they killed Rokuhiro and they stole the swords. So that's the issue here.
I think
That's why they have to defend the swordsman.
And I think one more reason that I don't think Samura is going to die is that I don't think upon first meeting his daughter that it'll be the day he dies. I think, if anything, she is meant to get probably stronger and strong enough to face him herself. Because her goal is to be as good at, or if not better than her dad. That's what she said in her flashback. So that leads me to believe that she's the one who's supposed to take him down, and she's not going to be able to do that now. So maybe they're saving that poetic justice for somewhere else down the line in the story. but I'm rolling the dice. That is my assumption, and plus a gut feeling. But man, this is a more dangerous bet. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I'm sticking
Doing
with
this, we're locking in.
We're
All
locked.
right, wrong
We're locked,
burgundy.
Brian. How about
right,
you, Brian? You want
um,
in? You want in on this, Brian?
I'll be a cautious observer.
I feel you.
Okay.
I respect it.
Okay. Samura. Oh
Okay.
boy. Here we go. I'm 2-0 in wrong burgundy.
You
bets.
are. Yeah, I'm 0-1.
Yeah. Brian is 0-2.
So yeah. Yikes. I want to say a few more things. I think I respect Samura a lot more as a character after this flashback. I don't think he just made so this is the thing. I had a lot to say about Yura and his reasons, but I totally understand Samura being so susceptible to that manipulation. He, you know, him having a child in his life and then imagining what she was going through, and then like that panel with him thinking like, oh, she might end up like, you know, taking her own life or something like that. That is absolutely like enough to drive like an unstable person to the point of like isolation and feeling like and like pessimism or whatever. Or maybe there's a better word for that. So I think like I said, I it makes a lot more sense like why he was able to stick to doing what he was doing, because he's like, man, I don't give a fuck about nothing else at this point. No matter what, I want to make sure my daughter's good. But it's still really unfortunate. And it's not like he jumped out the window just because Yura told him that. They started pushing the envelope, and he was so scared that like shit was moving so fast. He said, all right, I gotta find some way to get some type of control of the matter, again, for the safety of his daughter. So he went to such lengths to joining them, so that at least if this is gonna be done, he's gonna make sure it's done the right way, and hopefully no maniacs will be able to take these swords and kill more, you know, wreak more havoc. But yeah, that finalizes my thoughts for Kagurabachi. What an eventful week.
Right. Big time, big boy
for this
chapters.
chapter. Yeah. Big boy bets.
Ooh, our third wrong
See?
burgundy bet. Will I go 2-1?
I never gamble on other people. I only gamble on myself.
That's a good
Something words to live by.
that's good policy.